Wait, does stand by mean live?
No. Now we're live.
Stand by for live. We are live.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. YouTube.com/Silent Esports. This is where we're about to have the stream starting here in about 4 or 5 minutes. Take a few minutes if you don't mind and try to get as many people who are not on the stream to come join us on the stream. We got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Some important stuff about getting in and out before 8 o'clock. So,
what's up? Why are you all blurry?
Anyway,
like
we're coming back in just a minute. We're about to get started here in about 3 or 4 minutes. Thanks.
Yeah.
We are hot mics. You want me to mute y'all? What is this? Can we get out of this so this one shows the...
Yeah, get the right background on there.
So if you want to, when we go to talk about
it's 2-2, except we don't control the mixer.
1 minute.
One day I'm gonna find some playlist on my phone that I haven't heard, and it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna think it's like all atmospheric, and then there's gonna be like some random track with something appropriate. Jeremy, hand me my water bottle, please. If you can lift it, since it's 80 pounds.
10 seconds. Just in time. 5. Oh, that's a little loud. Oh, wait. Whoops. My bad. Start that over. Sorry.
Compared to last week, this week went a lot smoother. There's still a couple of kinks to work out. We're going to try to get some more setups in here. We're going to try to get some more feedback from you guys, from the other employees. We're going to see what we can do to speed things up. But overall, way better.
Unfortunately, I missed the first week, but now that I'm here, it's really great. The people are great, the staff is great, I get help when I need it. It's a lot of fun, and there's Smash. That's a big part of it.
Go!
I'm definitely going to try and improve my gameplay by listening to the people I've lost to. I have a 4-0 score right now, 0 wins, 4 losses, and they've all tried to help me out, and it's really fun.
The turnout tonight was pretty good. We had a lot of people here. After the bracket really got rolling, there was a lot of really good high-pressure matches I saw on the stream while I was walking by. I saw some really high-level play from a couple of middle schoolers and high schoolers. It was really a great week for the players.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us here at youtube.com/Sign Esports. And this is the show where we talk about last week's games and we talk about next week's games. And we're going to try to get a lot of stuff done in a very little amount of time. But we're going to start with last week's games like we usually do. So first thing is everybody's been asking about the standings. It took us a little while to get the standings published. We're still kind of figuring out the best, most efficient ways to do it. We had to do a lot of this stuff by hand. But they are published. The standings from last week are published, which includes the summary, some scores from the first 2 weeks. Let's go show everybody how to find those. So, Corey, you want to tell them how to find them?
Yeah, Jeremy was making fun of me earlier because of how inaccessible the button is to find the standings from the website.
Is this
you go to signesports.com and then click on high school esports up at the top.
Yeah.
And then you scroll down to Smash, and then there's a tiny little button that says current standings. But the reason I wasn't all that worried about that is because the link is really easy to remember. It's sionesports.com/standings. So the direct link is just very easy to get to.
Yeah.
I will make it more accessible on the website, but just remember sionesports.com/standings.
Yeah, so that's how you go view it. We're going to have those published at the latest every Monday night. So we're going to try to get where we're quicker with it. We're going to try to use the system that we have built for tracking the games to try to do a little bit better of that. But at the latest, after the games on Thursday, the Monday night after that, we're going to have them published before we do this stream. So that's at the latest, maybe earlier. But if you want to know when's the last time you need to go check, this is the last time you need to go check. They're definitely going to be up to date. So we had our let's look at the school standings. Individual performances. I mean, Austin, is there anything in particular you want to cover on individual performances from last week? Really, I mean, we got the standings. That's pretty much just they are what they are, right?
I mean, as far as performance from last week, I didn't get to catch a whole lot of games, but what I did see was pretty impressive. The higher level play out there is pretty good.
So we got let's at least mention on the stream the winners from each night. I know in middle school. Go back to the.
You go to middle school.
Go to the middle school
schools.
Individuals.
Individuals.
Yeah. So I remember that I know the winner in middle school was Carter Koenitz last night. Thursday night. He was the winner in the middle school. I don't remember who won overall in high school last night. Do you remember, Austin? It's okay if you don't.
It's not okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
I expect you to
remember.
days.
All right, just to remind everybody the way the school scores work, the top 2 players from each school get to score points for their schools. And so, the top player for the night gets 20 points individually, and that gets recorded on that player's individual score. They also score points for their schools. So now and we have all the way down to like 42 players so far have scored so far in the event. There's been a total of 42 players scoring points. More than that, obviously, but if you don't finish in the top 25, you don't score points. Go to the school. Go to middle school first.
Middle school.
Yeah, middle school. So the top 2 players from each school score points for the middle school. As you can see, S.J. Welch is in first with I would say not a safe lead. I think we can pretty much assume anything under a 20-point lead, you could blow potentially in 1 week.
In 1 week.
So it's not a safe lead unless it's over a 20-point lead because you could blow that in 1 week. Hamilton sneaking into the board this time. Hamilton's small team just getting started, but they're sneaking into onto the.
They didn't have a team first
Oh,
week,
yeah,
right?
we have to
Right.
go off the graphic for just a minute because we have
Joey
an
the Stream
appearance
Dog.
by Joey the Stream Dog.
Uh-oh, Joey,
Coming
come
to
in.
hang out.
Joey.
He's not going to go to you.
All right.
You know he likes staring at me.
There
he
That's
goes.
how it works.
All right.
That's our stream mascot. So anyway, we got S.J. Welch starting out in the lead after some good play. Again, this is more of for the schools, you're looking at who can have consistent play from more than one player and then over multiple weeks. Go to high school. The high school was very tight. The school scores for high school, Bell City with 40, Sam Houston with 39, LaGrange with 36, and Barb with 34. So nobody is safe after the second week in high school. Very, very much tight games there. So I know, like Bell City, for instance, they didn't have any first-place finishes. But even though they didn't have any first-place finishes, they had enough strong finishes to be in first place overall as a school. So that's the way the school scoring works. That's where you go get them. We're not going to talk a whole lot about the actual rankings and where everybody is because honestly, because you guys know more about that than we do, and we could sit here all night and talk about where everybody is in Smash, and we would just be making stuff up because we don't know a whole lot about how to play Smash, honestly. So that's the way it works. That's where they are, and that's where you go check them out. If anybody sees any discrepancies, if you have any questions about how you're being scored, feel free to email me. We'll take a look at it and see if we can. If there's any discrepancies, we'll get them solved. There was, I think, one player who we could not identify. Go back to the middle school individual scores and scroll all the way to the bottom. There was one player I wanted to mention.
That's the bottom.
Go to the graphics.
Sorry.
Okay, then try maybe high school.
No, that's it. Taylor Clifton.
Yeah, Taylor Clifton. I could not figure out what school Taylor Clifton goes to. So if you are Taylor Clifton and you just got onto the leaderboard, scored some points last night.
How do we not know what school Taylor and Clifton
Well,
goes?
because it didn't get recorded at the event.
We can't just look on the rosters?
Couldn't find him on a roster. So
Funny you mention that.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. So couldn't find Taylor Clifton on a roster anywhere for any week. So if that was our mistake, that's fine. But if someone will point out where that student is supposed to go, or if that was student was supposed to be on your roster and they're not, if we can get that straight. That's the only one I
Speaking
was
of
not able to
rosters.
find. I spent quite a bit of time trying to get everything lined out, making sure all the rosters were right and everything was in the right place. And I got some great help from the sponsors on that starting today, too, on getting those things done. So now that's the end of the discussion about last week. Everything went good logistically as far as the playing of the games got played. We got through the tournament. We got a winner. So that was progress. We're not quite where we want to be on time yet. That's what we're fixing to spend the next entirety of this stream talking about how we're going to get this thing under 3 hours so we're done by 8 o'clock. So we know sponsors and parents and students, we know you guys don't want to be there till 9 or 10 o'clock every night or every Thursday night. So that's what we're fixing to talk about. How do we get done by 8? First of all, pop the map up, Corey. Let's mention very briefly again, we want everybody to come in from the north side of the LCB gym. We're just going to try to kind of get everybody flowing through that. Hey, Stream Dog. Hey, Joey the Stream Dog. We want everybody coming through the north side. We're going to probably not lock the south side doors this week, but next week we'll probably start locking the doors on the south side and just having only access through the north side. So that's the enter here new graphic on the top. So now let's talk about rule changes or rule tightening up on
Enforcement?
on rule enforcement. Yeah, rule
Areas
enforcement.
of emphasis.
Areas of
what they call it in
emphasis like they
football.
have in the NFL. You want to go to Jeremy for me?
What?
No, Corey has
What?
the graphics for the rules.
Yeah, so
What do we have up
first
first?
one?
First one is
Uniform policy?
Uniform policy is the first thing we're going to get into strictly enforcing. We talked a lot about uniforms, and we had a couple weeks of lax enforcement. We did that for two reasons. One is just to give everybody time to adjust to getting uniforms and getting uniforms for all their players and making sure they knew what players they had and what uniforms they needed. And the other reason was because things were so hectic the first week, we just felt like because with the internet outages and us not able to track everything on our end properly, that it wasn't fair to if we didn't have our act 100% together, it wasn't fair for us to require everyone else to have their act 100% together, especially on this uniform policy. So the way that's going to work is our refs are going to look at your team's shirts or uniforms, and they're going to make a judgment call. That's all. It's just a judgment call. The ref is going to make a call based on whether or not they identify that, what they're wearing as a uniform. And the easiest way to tell it is not a uniform is if it does not say your school name on it anywhere, that's a good indicator that that's probably not a uniform. It needs to not say, the brand name of some popular brand of clothes that kids wear. It needs to say your school's name on it. To have any chance of being a uniform, it needs to have your school's name on it. And then the next thing is, do all your players wear the same shirt? So it can be as simple as a school spirit shirt. If it says your school's name and all your players are wearing matching things, our guys are going to call that a uniform. If you have any questions about, hey, is this going to count as a uniform, send a picture to me and we'll take a look at it. We'll have the ref take a look at it. Next thing on that same rule block is the student ID. And the way that's going to work is everyone is required to have a student ID of some kind identifying what student they are and what school they go to. Now, we're not going to check those at the door. There's no checking policy for those. There's not going to be anybody, making sure you have them. But if there ever is a question of what school do you go to, or is this actually the student, to make sure that no one's playing games for another student, make sure you don't have one guy playing games for all the students on your roster because he's really good or something like that. If there's ever any question, the ref is going to say, let me see your student ID. And if you don't have it, you're going to be disqualified from that night, even if you are who you say you are. So that's important that we get across. If I'm Eric and I have my student ID, I'm good. If I'm Eric and I don't have my student ID, even if I'm playing as Eric, but I can't demonstrate who I am with a student ID, I'm still disqualified.
What
so
if I'm playing as Eric with your student ID?
That they have pictures on them. So if Corey's playing as Eric,
look so alike.
Right, so a student ID, they do have pictures on, right? Don't they? They have pictures on. Mine does.
I
know
so.
that mine. I know
that wasn't
my,
a thing whenever we went to high school.
My employee ID, my CPSB employee ID, I know has my picture on it. So again, that's not to try to gotcha anybody. It's just you need to be aware if there ever is a question, they're going to ask for the ID, and if you don't have it, you're disqualified. So that's how that rule works. We're going to be strict on that one as well. Now, do we want to talk about roster lock? Yeah. So the next thing is we're going to lock the rosters. The rules originally said Monday at 5 p.m. We are going to. That made more sense for Overwatch because we talked about next week's matchups and things like that on the stream. We're going to lock the rosters hard lock on Tuesday at 5 p.m. So this is Monday at 8 p.m. You still have a few hours to get the rosters in. On Tuesday at Tuesday at 5 p.m. we are basically going to print those out. And no matter what you do after that, we're not going to pay attention to it. We're going with those rosters. The reason we're doing that is because as I sent an email out to everybody, the sponsors, a couple days ago, we are going to publish the bracket. Where are we going to publish the bracket at? Smash.gg?
Put it on the website. Actually, no, it'd be on Smash.gg, right, Austin?
Right.
So how do they go find the bracket on Smash.gg?
Jeremy, go find the bracket.
I'll try and see how easy it is.
It is if you go to smash.gg/Louisiana High School Smash. That will get you to the main page, our main smash.gg page. And then I think you have to go into a specific event for the week. Oh, look, we can look at your
Let's see,
here.
week 1, week 2. So we'll go to week 2 high school just since it's already been done, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bracket. Oh, look, standings. Bracket.
Yeah, that's the standings because there was already a round.
Right.
All right. So this is the last week bracket. This is the bracket from week 2 I've already played through. But on Wednesday, in the morning sometime, we're going to go at this bracket based on Tuesday's rosters. And you sponsors and players will be able to go and look at this bracket, and the entire middle column that has the first round, that will all be filled in with players' names. And the reason we're doing that is because we have got to get out of here at 8 o'clock, and the best way to do that is to start on time. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you guys know who's playing when and that you hold us accountable for making sure those brackets are done. So by the end of the day, Wednesday, when you guys leave school, we're going to have it done before you leave school. So when it gets close to the end of school on Wednesday, if we don't have them published where you can see them, it is okay to start emailing us. You can start emailing me, start bugging us because we're committing to have it done. And if we don't, there's something going on, and it is okay for you to email us and ask us what's going on. So that's going to be done. That's probably the biggest, most significant change that we're going to completely lock down this week and make sure we have done right. That bracket is going to be public on Wednesday for anybody to look at. So the next thing, are we going to go to the
forfeit rule for Austin?
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about what's going to happen if players don't show up, not for the night. What happens if they don't show up for a game? So Austin's going to walk us through, starting with a player's name getting called, what happens for the next few minutes. Go ahead.
All right, so real important, getting through this on time. I'm going to need you guys' help because if I don't have your help, I can't run efficiently. So what I need you to do is always be listening for your name while we're running bracket. When I call your name.
What if you mispronounce my name, Austin?
If I mispronounce your name, I do apologize. But
if you have a commonly mispronounced name, maybe be aware to be listening for something close to it.
Correct. So after I call your name, I need you to report to the station that we call. We're going to make sure to call numbers this week because I know we had a little bit of an issue with calling the right station numbers last week, but we're going to make sure that's right this week.
So do an example call out between Eric playing against Dustin. How would that sound?
Well, I would need Eric and Dustin to please report to Station 7. And
There's Station 7, please.
If they need help finding that station, there will be people around the area, obvious TOs, obvious, referees, that will help you find your station.
Wearing super cool uniforms like me and Austin are wearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, and also like you guys are wearing.
Yeah.
If your opponent doesn't show up, I need you to let the referee know, hey, my opponent's not here.
So Dustin shows up at the thing, and Eric does, and I don't show up, so I'm not here.
Right.
I'm not here. So Dustin
says. So after you've sat there for about a minute and a half, let your referee know this right next to you. Hey, where's my opponent? He'll come let us know. Hey,
Thor,
such
that
and
kid
such
didn't show up.
So we'll call again. After I call for a second time, you have about 5 minutes to get.
Not about
station.
5 minutes.
Exactly
5
minutes to get to the station. If not, I'm going to have to disqualify you. It's the only way we're going to get through this bracket in the time we're allowed. Other things that are important, remember it's a double elimination tournament. So if you lose your first game, you're not out of the tournament yet. You have to lose 2 games in order to be out of the tournament. Other things, when you come report your score, come report to the desk. Make sure you and your opponent both come and report your score. Because I can't trust just one person to come and say, hey, I won.
So after the game is over, after the best of 3 is over, both guys just stay together. Just stay and walk right to the desk, up to the main desk there's going to be a desk. It's going to be clearly separated this week. There's going to be a middle school side and a high school side. So when you finish the game, both of y'all just walk up there together and report the game. So summarize the forfeit rule. They call your name once, go to the station. When they call your name the second time, a 5-minute countdown basically starts. And when that 5 minutes is up, we're going to have to disqualify you. And that's because everybody needs to be out at a reasonable time. And if everybody's not playing their games at the right time, then nobody can get out at a reasonable time. So that's that. Is that all the rule changes that we're covering?
Yep. We just have a summary.
Okay,
of
so
the
let's
rule
go to the
changes.
summary. Yeah. So this is the summary of the rule changes.
This is
and
the
they're not
cue
even
to screenshot this image.
They're not even rule changes. It's just we're locking down some rules. We're getting really serious about some rules. Now, let me mention one thing. If there's a discrepancy or a disagreement or a confusion at the event, we, as in Scion Esports, we're the sort of running of the tournament. We, as an organization, are basically asking you to just defer to our people in uniform for that one night. Now, it's a 7-week league. So we're not going to let anything be screwed up for all 7 weeks, but we're just asking you to defer to our people in uniform and then let them run the thing the best they can, go with whatever the people in uniform say, and then the next day you can contact us and we'll hammer it out as a group and take all the time we need to get things straight. But at the event, we're just asking that everybody just stay calm and defer to our people in uniform as best you can. So, okay, that is the rule summary for the night. The last thing is we've just kind of finalized this because 8 o'clock is kind of like the sort of acceptable time for everybody to get out. We're stopping this thing at 8, and we're going to do this, and we're going to see how it goes. But if we don't make it this week, if we don't make it before 8 o'clock, we're going to call 8 o'clock at the end, and we're going to score points based on where everybody is at 8 o'clock, similar to the way we did the first night at 9:45 or whatever, however late it was, however late y'all stayed. So after 8 o'clock. It's just going to be you score the points you score. And we'll do the same situation. We'll tie all the players that are in first place in the winner's bracket will be tied. But we hope we don't have to get there because we really think we can do this thing in under 3 hours. And if you are if you lose out before 8 o'clock, then you are welcome to go home. You don't even have to stay till 8. But that's the objective.
So 2 things. We did go up on consoles, correct?
We added 4 more consoles. We're adding a lot of technology. We're adding a lot of tablets. We added a backup internet. We have an AT&T hotspot that's just in case our internet goes out this week. We added a ton of technology. We added more displays for showing brackets. There's going to be 2 big screen TVs showing each bracket all the time. So if you're high school, you can always see your bracket. If you're middle school, you can always see your bracket.
You can know if your kid is still playing or if they're out.
So we're beefing up the technology a lot. We did have one question through the week that mentioned it when you said your kid's still playing. We did have one question through the week about is it okay for parents to kind of stand behind the TVs and watch the kids? We have just a general, within reason, we have no problem with parents standing around the kids and watching the kids play or take pictures. Just be aware that we need you to not crowd the other players and be considerate of other parents trying to watch their kids. And just if everybody could kind of work together, if you want to go snap a picture or something, don't be afraid to go snap a picture. We want you to be able to go do that. And
Generally
interact.
encouraged. There is the red line that is the border for the court. It's about 2 feet. That's a good, safe bubble.
Yeah, so if you could stay behind the red line, that would be good. But generally, just try to respect everybody else's space, especially the players. If you're crowding around the players too much, then we have trouble determining who is oh, and also you can't talk to the players. Don't try to coach the players. Don't help them out. Don't give them advice, anything like that. So do we have anybody watching the stream?
We do, and we have a couple
Are
of
there any
questions.
questions?
One
Let's
of
start
them
covering
was
questions.
Spicy. Let's see. Spicy said, well, we just answered this one. Can we get a TV for middle school?
Yes.
Please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was
We
this
just
one.
answered that.
So hey. So here's the thing about this is we have done this quite a few times. This is not our first rodeo at Esports, but it is our first rodeo with multiple hundreds of players, smash tournaments in 3 hours. So we're trying to tweak. How can we do it faster? How can we do it better? And so we're getting a lot better as we go, and we're very open to suggestions. That's a great one. A separate display for middle school, already done. It was so fast. We agreed with him so much that we went ahead and already did it before he even asked.
Yep. Second question is from Soul Crusher.
Ooh, Soul Crusher.
Soul Crusher wants to know, what if I don't have a uniform yet? That's a tougher question.
Okay, so here's the deal. Soul Crusher, I would say, what school are you from? And then what I would do is I would try to get with your sponsor and have your sponsor contact me. The best thing I can think of right now is if you have more students than you do uniforms.
How do we feel about uniform sharing at the event?
Not great.
Okay.
So what I was going to say is if you have if you have uniforms from last year and you don't have your new uniforms in, I would say the best suggestion is get everybody to wear a matching Spirit shirt. Are we okay with that? Would that work?
I think so.
Absolutely, as long as they match.
Have your whole team where everybody can wear the same shirt, wear a matching Spirit shirt for your team that week. Let's see if we can communicate with our sponsors. Soul Crusher, talk to your sponsor. Have your sponsor contact us. We'll give them ideas. But that's the number one idea that we got so far is have everybody on the team find some shirt that everyone can wear, and that can be your team uniform for that week.
Yeah, and we've contacted this. We've gotten the sponsors' information of a couple of T-shirt companies, local companies that can put together uniforms for really cheap, and all the way up from a $7 or $8 T-shirt to $50 really nice jersey like these. The sponsors have that information. If you're one of the newer clubs that maybe got on board after we sent that information to the sponsors, email esports@LakeCharlesToyota.com, and we'll give you a couple recommendations. In the rules, it says it must be a esports specific team jersey, and the reason is because you don't go out to play football in a chess club shirt or whatever. But we're gonna definitely work with the new schools on that.
I'd be totally down with seeing a chess club football game.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Point being, we're going to work with the new schools, and if you need
Totally
to
down.
take a little bit of time to get your uniforms together, that's great. But we do want you to look like an organized school, so definitely come in coordinated Spirit shirts or something like that. Go ahead.
Dustin mentioned we're going down to 15 players this week only. So we're going to limit the rosters to 15 players. All the sponsors already know that.
Oh, this week only.
This week only.
Okay.
And then if we get done by 8 o'clock with 15 players, then we'll reopen it back up to 20 players. But all the sponsors have already been alerted. We're going down to 15 players only. So if you're at a school that had more than 15, you can only play 15 this week. And maybe we could do some jersey sharing there. I don't know if your Soul Crusher was on a team with more than 20. But 15 players. Again, everything we've been doing this week, we've spent many, many, many hours thinking about how can we get you guys out of there by 8. That is absolutely the focus, and we're going to make it happen for sure.
They might reach out about
Austin, we're going to let you take this question. Let's see. Will GameCube controllers always be the only controller available? Will people have to bring a pro controller to each tournament if they want to use one?
Right now, I don't have any pro controllers. If that's something Scion Esports would want to provide, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, Scion Esports has about 4.
Okay, I need to find them then.
Right, but the thing is, we'll bring 4, but it's going to be first come, first serve. So you cannot count on having a pro controller because we're going to bring 4. We spent the easiest way to get enough controllers to use was to buy those specific controllers that we did. So we bought 30 controllers, and that's what we did to be fair to everybody. And so the only thing that we're going to make sure we provide enough of is those pro controllers. We just can't afford to buy 30 or 40 or more pro controllers.
Here's a really good question. If you are not on the roster, can you still go to the tournament and spectate? The answer to that question is absolutely.
Please do.
Absolutely, yes. In fact,
yes, you can.
In fact, please bring 20 other people who are not on the roster with you to spectate, because it is so tremendously awesome to see people full in the stands in the background watching these games go. It's one of the coolest things about doing it the way we do it on site with the productions that we do is so we can have spectators. So please, yes, please.
Follow-up question from Soul Crusher. Are Mii fighters allowed?
Yes.
Yes.
Quick and simple answer to that is yes, right, Austin? And they
they're
can
allowed.
use any combination of moves?
No, not any
No,
combination
cannot
of
use any
moves.
combination of moves.
You must use the base 1-1-1-1 moveset for the Mii Brawlers and Mii Gunner and Mii Fighter.
Cool.
So-
So the
or
basic
Mii Sword.
move set for that class of Mii fighter.
Right. Stock size. Basically, you create it, and that's what you play as. You can't change anything. Everything has to stay.
Is that mostly for speed?
It's not so much for speed as it is one slight change to the size of a Mii changes its weight, changes its combo game, and it's having to learn the matchup of every single weight of Mii would be nearly impossible for even a professional.
It'd be unfair to play as a Mii when no one really knows what they're going up against. And
Right. As long as it's
Makes
the base
sense.
character of Mii, then you can learn the matchup. But one small tweak to a Mii, and it changes how you fight it.
so, okay.
Super Toad Brothers 3 has a
Super
question.
Toad Brothers 3. All right.
I'm sorry. Super Toad Brothers 3 World
Super Toad Brothers 3 World.
would like to know, can we wear hats, and do they count as part of a uniform if we have,
Okay,
have
you
matching
can. I think
hats?
yes, you can definitely wear hats, and that would be that. Okay, if one of you has a hat, that doesn't disqualify the other players who don't have hats. It would be That's fine. Yes, you can wear
It's
hats.
like wearing rings or a necklace.
As long
it's an
as they're-
accessory.
as long as
it's
they're
totally
not-
fine as long as it's not offensive.
As long as they're not inappropriate. And it's good that we mentioned this. Let's don't wear anything that covers your face. Nobody come in a ski mask or anything like that. But if it's not inappropriate, you can totally wear hats. And it is a valid question, but no, it
My
does not have to
Yoshi
be part.
balaclava.
Does not have to be part of your uniform. You don't all have to wear the same hat. Good question.
I think that looks like about it.
Jeremy, you got anything?
Someone asked if there'll be commentary week, and someone else asked where the dummy switch will be located.
Okay, so so we talk about the dummy switch. Commentary is we are absolutely committed to providing live commentators and casting, but it is totally subordinate to getting the games played and getting y'all out of there by 8 o'clock. So until we accomplish the second of those things, we're not going to try to get the first thing going. So the answer to we're going to have casting this week is probably not. Maybe if everything's going great, but it's not going to be the priority. The priority is getting the games played and getting everybody out by 8 o'clock to keep our sponsors happy.
Looking at you.
What
Ms.
about
Roberts.
a dummy switch? What's
Okay,
a dummy switch?
The dummy switch. Tell them about to go deprogram your wireless controllers. Are we going to do that? Or are we not going to have that?
The first week I had a switch on my desk for people to come desync controllers with. I have that switch in rotation now because we needed more setups. So no, I no longer have a dummy switch. I'll try to find one that I can bring. Maybe borrow one from somebody. and-
Jessica might bring hers
Right.
just for that.
And we'll have that on the desk to just kind of desync controllers with.
If there is one, it will be at the main desk, probably,
Right.
where the tournament organizers are typing into computers, if we can get it.
Spicy says for the YouTube live stream, can we get like a cool overlay and cameras too, or is that overkill? We have a very, very robust video production setup, and I promise you will blow you away.
Yeah.
Like Eric said,
Eventually.
once we get the games played good, we're going to bring first-class video production to this. I promise it's going to look good. But first thing we got to do is get all the games played, get all the parents happy, all the kids having fun, and then as soon as we've done that, we're going to add a really first-class video production.
Yep. The answer to that is a yes, a big fat yes.
Thanks, Spicy.
What else?
Oh, yeah, Jessica. Jessica's watching. Jessica Corley
She
says,
usually
I can
does.
bring mine if it's needed.
So there's the dummy
That'd be
switch.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
the
Thanks,
dummy.
Grooves.
Yep. Gruber McEvil, one of our helpers on the Smash Night. One of our few
Reluctant
girl-
conscripts.
one of our few female Sign Esports people. So if you see one of the girls, tell them, thanks for coming out.
But
Hey,
not the
girls,
guys. Don't
thanks for
tell the
being a
guys.
girl.
Well, the guys are like one in a million, like a dime a
not
dozen,
thanks.
like a dime a dozen. We give a shout out to Gruber on her stream. She would probably like us to give a plug to Gruber McEvil's stream. What is she stream on Twitch? still?
Gruber McEvil.
She's still,
yeah.
Still on
Gruber
Twitch.
McEvil on Twitch.
Still back in the dark ages on Twitch. She hasn't moved to YouTube yet, like us. like the cool
Well, she
people.
does live
Everybody
content,
knows.
not VODs, really.
Everybody
Cool
knows
people.
it's the future.
All right,
She's on the
so
stream team.
so now we got our list here up of all the
Just
the
a reminder
websites.
how to
And
get in touch with us.
we still-
Sign Esports still up there
Sign
twice.
Esports. It's double important.
Double important.
Double important.
SignEsports.com/high school.
That you know that one. That's why it's up there twice. Austin is Nitsua in the Discord, or Austin Geimer at gmail.com. If you have super specific Smash Brothers questions, like if you want to ask somebody what are the move combinations the Mii fighters can use, obviously we don't have any idea what those answers are. Austin is the guy to ask those to. Austin Geimer at gmail.com. Other questions, esports at LakeCharlesToyota.com. Sponsors, please contact us anytime. Esports at LakeCharlesToyota.com. We check those emails a bunch. Is that it?
That looks like
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're looking forward to Thursday. It's going to be a great week, and thanks for following us. And everybody, give Skylar the editor a little like and stuff on his page for making
Do
these videos for us.
But like I know it looks good, but do we want to compliment him on stream?
Also,
Make him,
don't forget to
feel good about
smash
himself?
that like
I'm not
button.
about
Where's
that.
the like
Smash
button?
that like button.
Where's it at?
Down.
It's
Down. Right there. Like
Right
button.
there.
Down there.
That subscribe and that subscribe and ring the bell.
Yes.
Over here on the other side, down. There you go. That's where you like the video.
All right. Thanks, guys. Same bat time, same bat channel next week, 8 o'clock. Thank y'all. All right.
Hey.
What?